am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not be.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. What's going on, people? We're back. Still let some time to let people kind of join back in, get the sound all together. All right, seems like we got it going, but I want to do a couple of quick tests. Keep it moving. It's not like I don't want to know. Share it out, people. Share it. Share it. Woo! People is pissed off at me. Good. Keep my foot squarely in your back. Keep on talking. I just wanna see you move. Keep it squarely in their back, because if you talking about what I'm talking about, you got a difference of an opinion, that's fine. But if you just pissed off because I'm talking about something, oh, you gonna be real upset. Come on. We're back in. Thank you, folks. What's going on? What's going on? Come on. Don Rucker, what's going on? Jedi Mac with the wrench back. Judge Dre. I'm back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, they pissed. Oh, if you wanted me to stop, you wanted me to quit, the worst thing you should have did is talk about me. See, a competitive man, you have to beat a competitive man. You can't insult him. Oh, we're gonna do, Sean, they don't know. They don't know, Sean. They don't know. We're gonna teach them. Nicer, what's going on? 4, 3, let's get it, come on. I'ma keep raising the bar and I'm keep turning on the water. Because they either gonna swim or they gonna drown. Who you think you talking to? You think you dealing with? That's right. Again. Of everybody who's had my name in their mouth, I've spoken to 2 people. Obsidian and O'Shea. For the most part, I don't talk to anybody else because I'm too busy working and doing what I gotta do. So we can stop all the talk and we can just line up resumes. We can turn off YouTube. We can just shut all this shit down and let's just line up resumes. Let's line up resumes. Let's line up trophies. Let's line up certifications. Let's line it all up. Let's line up professional background. You game? I'm game. Let's line them up. Take all the guesswork out of this shit. So, if those of you didn't hear my little rant, I said apparently, I'm not supposed to talk about something. As an image consultant, corporate image consultant, life coach, I'm going to talk about high value. And if you don't like it, leave. You don't like it, leave, but you're not going to stop me from talking about it. And what you're really going to do is get me to turn it on full blast. I've been metering myself. Honestly, I've been trying to kind of take it easy because honestly, when it gets right down to it, I'm talking about rarefied air where unless you want to be up in the high altitude, competing with the best of the best, you might need to stay in your lane. I'm not here for the YouTube games, and clicks and, I understand the YouTube thing and you're hot and I do the same thing. If something's trending, I'll talk about it. But one thing I don't do is I don't lie on people. I don't beef with people and I don't make up disingenuous arguments. That's why I said, bottom line, if I have never spoken to any of these content creators, especially the people who are around my size, if you haven't sent me an email, made a phone call, reached out to somebody, then what is your problem? And if you're talking about what I'm talking about and you're not quoting me correctly, like I said, people need to look at you or anything you have to say with the side eye. But I get it. You got to have content. I'm hot right now. But here's the thing. I'm hot right now because I'm doing what I know. I've been doing this for a long time. So unless you really want to go subject matter expert to subject matter expert, like I said, if you want to talk, discuss the topic, discuss anything that I talk about, the phone line is open. As long as you're willing to get over here on the Zoom call, get on camera, and let's hash it out. Let's talk about it. But all these one-off videos talking about me, that's part of the YouTube thing across the board. But here's the thing that's unique about Black folks. Every other group sees that somebody's moving up, and you will have haters, critics, but they will be in their sector. Like in fragrance. When Jeremy Fragrance started taking off from the rest of the pack, his haters and critics were other fragrance reviewers that he was kicking their ass. But you didn't have people outside of Fragrance coming over talking about Jeremy Fragrance. You didn't have somebody coming over from watches or cars or politics or women's beauty. It was the fragrance community. In the men's style community. And that's the thing. In every section of YouTube, it makes sense for people in that sector. But just because we're Black don't mean we're the same. I've had people who I share, I don't know some of you folks, turn off YouTube and we have nothing in common except the color of our skin. And you think that we can walk in the same places? No, fam, understand something. Stay in your lane. Well, I'm going to say stay in your lane. You might want to stay in your lane because this lane is moving a different way. And see, I don't believe in that, every man is equal kind of shit. That's bull. That's why you got a homeless man sleeping at the bottom of the Chrysler building and there's somebody on the top floor. Danger Zone, Feminist, Single Mothers, Eternal 7's, women get the sound off tonight. Why are we talking about it? Because these women and women like these women, they want something that they cannot get. They want high value men and high value lifestyles. Let's just cut to the chase. That's what they want. That's what this channel has been talking about. That's what people on this channel, what this broadcast has proved, night in and night out. A lot of these women want something that they cannot have. And why can't they have it? Well, let's talk about it. Why can't they have it? Well, one, because high value men don't want them. High value men don't want women in the danger zone. And this pisses a lot of women off. What is the danger zone? The danger zone is at age 27 to 35 where you're still a younger woman, but you're old for marriage. And that ticks a lot of women off because they're wanting to talk about value. Tommy Lauren. And no, high value men don't value your PhD. High value men don't value your PhD. High value men don't value the things you think they should value. They value what they want. And you're not gonna change that. Why is that so bothersome for some women? Well, why is that so bothersome for some women? Why is that so bothersome for some women? Because you gotta spend what you got. Hold on. Why is that so bothersome for some women? Because they gotta spend what they got.
I'm a PhD.
Why is that so bothersome for some women?
I'm a PhD.
Because you gotta spend what you got. If all you got is a PhD and you don't have the things that he wants, you got to try to use that. I mean, it's kind of like counterfeit currency. If all you got is, I'm a PhD. If all you got is, I got a master's. If that's all you got, cool. But if that ain't what he wants, what difference does it make? Well, and just like that woman last night, you mean to tell me you with a man who says he does not want to get married or have children, and you still sitting here talking about I'm killing women's hopes while you wasting your time and killing your womb time? Because so many women like that woman last night honestly think that they can get men to change their mind. They can get men to value what they value. And I'm here to tell you, no. See, young women don't try to do this stuff. Young women can spend the currency. Young women can use their youth because they're in the area a man wants. But when you age out, and I'm not saying, here's the thing, and we're talking about high value guys. What's the main knock about high value men? When they get divorced or whatever, they go get a young, hot girlfriend. You don't see Brad Pitt, anybody? You don't see guys in their late 40s, 50s, or 60s going to get women in their 30s and 40s and 50s. They go get women in their 20s. And it pisses them off because that's all they have to say. But instead of trying to do this,
I'm a PhD.
Why don't you give the men what they want? But you can't. Because you value being a PhD. You value your income. You value your high dollar degree with $100,000 in debt. And men don't. High value men in particular. And unlike other guys, high value men don't have to negotiate. They'll tell you no. What are the other kind of women that are probably going to want to sign out tonight? Want something that they can't have. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's the eternal 7's. The eternal 7's. What are they? They're the women who, when the 8s, 9s, and 10s got married between the ages of 21 and 24, between 21 and 25, it's when the 8s and 9s got married between 21 and 25, the 7's, as it were, all of a sudden became the cream of the crop. They're the 7's are the women who could not get into the hot club for free. They could not get into VIP at the hot spot for free, but they can get in the 25 and older club or the 30 and older club. They get in VIP there. See, think about what I just said. The hottest spot, the Studio 54, the hot club, only the hottest women get in to VIP or get in for free. But the older or the older a club or the more laid back a club, the more lax the restrictions. So all of a sudden the 7's, the women who are still, really they're adjustable 6's, but they call themselves 7's, they're still cute. And now they got all this time, they're getting all the attention from the guys who are kind of left over, and they wait too long. They're the woman I talked to yesterday. I thought I could do better. I thought I could do better. It's the I thought I could do better gang. And then they mess around and end up. And next thing you know, they've hit the wall and it all comes crumbling down. They got no prospects. They've scrapped the guys that they really could have been dealing with. So now they're just jumping from relationship to relationship, trying to keep their notch count down. Eternal 7's are the bane of society for the most part because they could have won. We need to get the likes up, guys. We got 500 likes and 2,000 people in here watching. Nope. Get my likes up. because we had technical difficulty don't mean you don't have to hit the like button.
I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD.
I'm a PhD. Come on, get the likes up. We need to get them over 1,000. Kick it.
I'm in danger.
All right, let's keep on moving. Get the likes up. Keep it trending. I will play it again if you don't get it up. If you don't get it up, I will play it again. All right, so you got the danger zone, you got the danger zone feminist. And what is a feminist? You can call a lot of women are starting to call themselves womanist, equality, which is the same thing. You got problems with men. You got issues with men, and you want to be a modern woman, but then you still want traditional men. That doesn't work. And you start, and the guys that you really qualify for in your looks lane, you feel like you have to settle. So you get a lot of feminists who are in that danger zone. You also get a lot of these eternal sevens. These eternal sevens are really bad for this thing for not wanting to settle. Why? Because you're a 7 and you're supposed to get a guy who's about a 5 or a 6. Oh snap! Yeah, you're not an 8, 9, or 10, so you don't get high value men and you don't get jawline dudes. You get average guys. Eternal 7s get average guys. You're supposed to be the prettiest one of the group, not him. You're supposed to be the prettiest one in the couple, not him. But yet you want good looking guys and you got the nerve to want them to make money. But you know you can't get the high value guys who may or may not be as attractive as you want, but they got enough resources, money, power, influence, and connections, network, visibility, and all that kind of stuff to keep you quiet and happy. No, you end up getting guys who will probably end up having to go some version of 50-50. And now you're upset because you overplayed your hand. And what ends up happening? These feminists, the women that end up in the danger zone, or these women who are the eternal 7s, they all tend to start, this all tends to start happening. What tends to start happening? They tend to get pregnant and become baby mamas. My mother was a single mother, but she was a single mother in her early 20s, before 25. And then you see the largest group of women becoming single mothers in the late 20s, 30s, because they can't get a husband. They've overplayed their hand. They feel like I either want a high value man or I'll just be single by myself. If I can't be married and have a high value husband and a high value lifestyle, I don't see the value in marriage. You've heard them say it over and over. I don't see the value in marriage. So I might as well stay unmarried and keep my freedom and keep all this and keep all that. But here's the problem. That's lonely AF. And these are the women that go start looking for guys who are loose with their seed. Pookie, and I don't want to say Pookie and Ray Ray, but that's an overstatement. Guys who are loose with their seed, guys with multiple kids, these are the guys that all of a sudden you start seeing guys who are kind of average dudes at best, below average, but all of a sudden they're kicking it with them. Man, I'm kicking it with this I'm kicking it with this attorney, fam. I'm kicking it with this dentist, man. I'm kicking it with this accountant. And it's always like, wait a minute, dude, you're a sandwich artist at Subway, and you've always had, chicks on that level, but now all of a sudden you kicking it with police officers and HR representatives. You kicking it with the, late 20s, 30s, white collar professional women who making more money. Yeah. I got a little shorty, and always talking about what they doing for them. See, these are the women, quiet as it's kept, be tricking off on dudes. And this is where tricking comes into play, because these women actually buy men. These are the women that go buy a dude a pair of Chuck Taylors. They ain't gonna spend a whole lot of money on them, but they're gonna spend little insignificant money. She'll buy him a video game, some Jordans, the stuff to keep him happy. She can't, she'll give him little baubles and trinkets. And he thinks he's really coming up. He think he's really playing. Yeah, man, she went out and bought me a Gucci belt. And he think he's really just, he done had the, what was that heist? Lufthansa heist. You think you done pulled off something. She got me a Gucci belt. She got me a Gucci belt, fam. We went to Papado. Yeah, you know, my girl took me to Papado, man. She bought me a Gucci belt and that blue Chanel. You mean blue de Chanel? Yeah, that Dior Savage. You know, yeah, that Polo Black. You know, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You like, and you sitting there like, all right, cuz, okay. You think you really doing something. Cause she bought you some blue de Chanel, or blue Chanel as you call it, or YSL Black as you call it. You mean La Nuit de l'Homme? Yeah. Or she bought you that Dior Savage. You mean Dior Savage? Yeah. Or she got me that Polo. Yeah, these dudes are happy because they get their trinkets. She got me a polo shirt, a polo jacket. You know, these guys are really big into these big logos and stuff like, nah, all right, cool. And all she doing is butting you up to get you drunk. So, and then you get sloppy with your seed. Next thing you know, she pregnant. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. You thought you was winning. You was getting played. Because you never was on her educational level or income levels. You was just a doofer. You're a doofer now. She knew she could play you by buying you a few baubles and trinkets, and you think you winning by kicking it with a woman who is more educated than you, earns more than you, and you know she would look down on you in other circumstances. But because she's desperate now and she needs somebody stupid enough to impregnate her, you'll do. Guys, I didn't make it up. This is just how it goes. But here's the problem. None of these women want the men that they got. These women don't want the men they can get. They want high value men. Why do I focus on high value men? Because they are my clients, or the guys who are my clients are high value men, or men who want to get in that area. Welcome to the world of image consulting and life coaching. And like it or not, hear this and hear this well. These are the men that most women want. If my show has done nothing else, it should shine a really bright light on the fact that regardless as to who they are, 9 out of 10 women want these men. It doesn't matter if it makes sense to you guys. Doesn't matter if it makes sense to you gentlemen. Obsidian did a broadcast the other day talking about Lennon Honor and Umar Johnson, and Lennon Honor always going after Umar Johnson and not understanding why, after all the exposure and this and that and da why it still works. And even O'Shea talked about it. Why? Because women still think Umar Johnson's a high value man compared to Lennon Honor. And a lot of guys have a problem recognizing that women don't judge men the way men judge women. If a woman thinks you're high value, you throwing smut on his name, trying to tear him down, this makes it more appealing to her. Danger Zone, Feminist, Eternal 7's, who all single mothers or ones that become baby mamas, want high value men, they just can't get them. They can't get them. It doesn't change the fact that they want them. So what will they start to do? Luckily, you want to avoid these ladies if at all possible, because these are the women that will saddle you with a baby. These are the women that will drop a kid on you. Oh yeah. They'll drop a kid on you, and for nothing else, it'll give them a thrill to take you to court to get that $300 a month. Make no mistake. But the question would be profits over wages. Thank you, fam. And the question would be, well, why? Why, man? Why? If they know they don't want dudes like me, why would they still kick it with it? Well, because not only do they get the kid, which they really don't want, what they want is a kid so that they don't look like a weirdo. They want a kid so they don't look like a weirdo. A woman over 30 who's unmarried, no kids, looks like a weirdo to most people. They wonder if she's cuckoo or is she a bartender. But when she have a kid, that's like, okay, she's good. Somewhere along the way, somebody got her pregnant, so she's all right. She don't want to be a mother. She just wants the kid as a badge. And she wants to have somebody that she can go back and forth with for her emotional rush. Why? Because those high value guys, redo it again. Those high value guys that she wants, they aren't doing it. They aren't trying to kick it with her. They aren't trying to kick it with her they ain't trying to do nothing with her. So the question is, if you want a high value man, i.e., and you want a high value lifestyle, all right. I've said why. Do you want it? And if so, why? What are you willing to do to get it? We're going to go straight into it because I didn't like the way that sounded. What are you willing to do to get it? Pure MF facts. I know it's facts. It's pure facts, ladies, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But here's the thing. If you ever wonder why you got women who are college educated, so-called career women, got their stuff together, all of a sudden get pregnant by a loser or somebody who ain't on their level. What? Because they couldn't catch a high value man slipping. High value men they go through extraordinary procedures. First off, if they don't get snipped, they'll double bag it. They have quality control and security measures on their condoms. They don't let you apply the condom. They apply the condoms, and they take control of the condom, and they'll actually put hot sauce to taint it. They'll get rid of it. They're not just leaving it around. No, because these guys know the one thing that will slip them up or trip them up is a kid. See, how to become high value, first generation high value? The first thing is you got to control your seed. The best way to get the high value is not have any kids outside of wedlock. If you have a child, can you still get there? Yeah, but you can't get there with multiples. It's better to have none so you can focus. So you can do the crap jobs. So you can get out there and take risks and fail. And do all the things that make women really excited. See, that's why women like these high value men. Because high value men have options. They have leverage. They're risk takers. They're competitive. They're ambitious. And even if they come off as being arrogant assholes and pretentious jerks and cocky and all this other kind of stuff, these women love them. Women love these guys. Oh, they'll say stuff in public. They'll say stuff. They'll say stuff around each other. They'll talk crap. Ain't that right? They'll talk crap, but at the end of the day, they're the same ones, oh, I can't stand Marcus. I can't stand Keith. Blake, Lee, Ahmed, Keith, and Enrique. Those are the Henrys. Brad, the white guy who's a Henry. High earner, not rich yet. Lee, the Asian guy who's a Henry. Ahmed is my Middle Eastern guy who's a Henry. Keith is a black guy who's a Henry. And Enrique is the Hispanic guy. And that'll be the main ones talking about, oh, I can't stand them. Right. Be the main ones when ain't nobody looking. They sneak over into their dorm room. I need you to tutor me in English. I need you to tutor me in calculus. Yeah, they're getting the hell tutored out of them. We're tutoring the hell out of these women. Y'all know I'm talking facts. So let's talk about it, ladies. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me what I got off. Tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, but we gonna see.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work.
Chat room is open. Call line is open. The link is in the description. Link is in the description. Ladies only. Come on. He's just over there talking crap. He's just on that old white boy stuff. Okay.
Money work.
Big Eye.
Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande.
Come on, ladies.
Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work.
Oh, you in the call queue? Gotta stay in there.
Se arregla con dinero.
Stay in the call queue if you want to get in.
Money work.
Come on, ladies. You can call in. You don't have to get on camera.
Corazón.
You don't have to get on camera, but you do need to be on camera.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático.
All right, here we go. Now the lady's gonna set me straight. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. He don't know what he talking about. He on that BS. He just talking that stuff. Yep, you're right. You're right. I don't know nothing. Right. So here we go. Here we go, here we go, as the tune starts to bloom. Let me see. All right, they're coming in now. We got 4 people in here right now. Stuff. Okay. So, Rebecca, you can unmute yourself. Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. What do you got for me?
I am a baby mama. I got pregnant when I was 20,
Okay.
and I am 28, so I'm in the danger zone.
Okay.
And I think I love your show. Thank you. I am actively working on losing weight and getting got a therapist. Got a personal trainer, meeting with him every week, and working on that image consultant. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
But I appreciate your content and what you're sharing. I think that we all women want how value men. We want to stay home and raise our kids and live a comfortable lifestyle. But the reality is we got to work and we have to make our way and build with a man and create a family.
So why is my content spurred you to? Were you doing all this stuff before you started watching my content?
I've gone to therapy a couple times before I seen your content. Just healing from like traumatic events.
Okay.
So I've been on like the path of trying to become better and creating a better situation for myself and for my son. His dad is actively involved. I really fought for that relationship because I grew up without my dad in my life.
What I'm trying to understand is how come my content wasn't offensive to you and it's so offensive to some others.
Oh, well, I think because I'm Haitian, actually. My family, we've been in the US for like 20 years. I'm 28, so
Okay.
like I guess in the elementary school, and so.
But now here's a question: do you have a question for me, or were you just calling in to for a little testimonial?
Well, I was just calling in because it was like women in danger zone and baby mamas.
Right.
And so just calling just because I'm
Okay.
in that category.
Well, hold
But
on.
yeah, I wasn't offended at
Oh,
all about what you were sharing. It's just truth. It's honest. It's the honest truth. Men want women who are fit, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. And I think that the Black women in this in America are taught to be masculine, aggressive, independent, the complete
you need to
opposite
unmute yourself,
of
lady. I'm sorry.
me.
No, this other woman who's on here too. She's not paying attention. You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Hello,
Go ahead. Hi, what's your first name?
Shay.
Shay?
Yes,
Are you watching YouTube?
not anymore.
Yeah. It looks like you're talking to somebody in the background or you're watching YouTube.
Okay, I just turned it off.
Okay, good. So what do you have for me? What did I get wrong?
I don't want to say that you really got anything wrong per se. However, I guess I am a woman that's a little older.
Okay.
I don't have children. I'm not married.
How many children?
I don't have any children.
Okay.
And I don't know. I guess I'm a career woman. I am in a relationship, but I don't feel like I don't think that you got anything wrong. I just like kind of agree with you a little bit in a certain sense.
Okay. So did you ever want to get married or have kids?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
coming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming, but it's not like it's a goal because I think I'm like weirdo or anything like that.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 31.
All right. And how long you been in a relationship?
4 years.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to ask next.
Yeah, I watch your show a lot.
Well, I mean, because I said, do you ever want to get married or have kids? You said, yeah. And but then again, I heard but there's no real rush. But you're 31 and you've been in a relationship for 4 years. So there should be a rush.
Yeah, we're working on having a child. And marriage, of course, has been a conversation with myself and my boyfriend.
So you guys are going to get married before you had the kid before you get married?
Yes, that's where
Okay. So did you go to college?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's your degree in?
I have my bachelor's in social work and my master's in criminal social justice.
I'm a PhD.
And what does your boyfriend do?
He's a master mechanic.
Right. So you're out educated. You're far more educated than him. That's not even close, ma'am. Let's not play games. Let's not even play games. You're a master's and he's a master mechanic. No disrespect to the master mechanics, but it doesn't take 6 years in debt. So what I'm hearing you say is you're leading the relationship.
Not necessarily.
Does he want to get married?
No.
Okay. So tell me how this is supposed. So I'm open though. Tell me how this is supposed to work because you're a college educated woman with a master's degree, and you know all the facts and the stats about 2-parent homes and marriage and all this other kind of stuff. Tell me why, as such an educated woman, you're just basically saying, nah, we're just gonna have a child unmarried and just do it this way.
Well, because so I guess it's a little bit of here and there. He's a little bit older than me.
Okay.
And my main concern is I've always wanted to be a mother, I guess, in my aspect. So I mean, like I've grown up in a 2-parent household. Marriage was always, discussed.
Okay.
And eventually it will come, but I'm okay with a child coming before.
Why? Okay, ma'am. What I'm trying to understand is why you went you went through the system of college,
Yes.
but you're willing to have a child outside of marriage. Why is marriage less of a commitment than being a mother?
Mm, I wouldn't say it's
Well,
less of
yeah,
a
you
commitment.
are when you put in the car. Yes, you are, but you putting it. You're far more willing to say I'll go reproduce and make another sentient being before I will get a legally binding covenant marriage. That is saying one is more important than the other.
Mm. I'm just I just feel like when you're talking about like love and relationships, I don't know, like I feel like me and him both we've been like back and forth with one another. So I feel like just waiting to get married
Wait,
and
okay,
me and him.
how long do you need to know? How long do you need to wait before you know whether or not you've been for 4 years? How many years you need to wait?
I don't really know. I don't have the answer to
Oh,
that
well, but see,
question.
the thing is, you should because you talk about having a baby.
Yeah.
See, what you're basically saying is you're gonna have another broken black family. That's what you're basically prepping to do. Because here's the thing: if you're not married, the child will be from a baby mama, and sounds to me like you're not certain if this relationship is going to last. What do you have to lose for getting married? You went here before. See, that's why I don't understand so many black women. What does marriage sound like to you? Because it sounds like you would rather go into debt for school and all this other kind of stuff, but getting married is too big of a commitment for modern black women. What's the fear?
It's not. I mean, it's not really a fear um to take that step. It's not a fear. I'm just being supportive of my partner, and I'm supporting him when he's ready. We'll be ready together, and we're just helping each other
Oh
grow.
no, no, that's
Right.
bull crap, ma'am. How old is he?
He's 39.
All right. He's a 40-year-old man. You're talking like kids. And see, no one ever
Mm.
pushes black women to answer these questions. What you've told me is I would be willing to have a child out of wedlock and then someday in the future possibly get married. Do you guys live together?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So you're willing to play house. You're willing to do everything except sign the be the be on the insurance policies and be the official in case of emergency.
Mm,
Why'd you pick a man that you're this unsure about?
I mean, he's an awesome father. So when me and him first started dating,
Oh,
and
he
we,
already has
yeah,
children.
he has one child,
Okay, so
and
has he been
that's
married?
like he was previously married. Yes, he's
Oh,
divorced now.
okay. But I'm asking about
So
you
that's
though.
why, yeah,
You
and
want to
that's
be
why I'm
married and have
understanding.
kids, but you're not doing it.
I feel like it's gonna come. Like,
No,
um,
it's not. I hate
mm,
to break it to you, sis, but no, it's not.
okay. I mean, I don't know. I guess I was trying to talk about how like I know you were talking about like being
I
older
understand,
and
but
not.
but the thing is, I understand. And see, you're older. You just like a lot of times women are called onto the show and they want to talk about bigger things. But I'm more concerned about what informs your opinion. And it's never failed that when I've talked to women like yourself that you're talking about something while something in your own lap ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
Is this man 4 years? How long should it take to decide to marry somebody?
Well, I've been watching your show and you say between like 6 months and a year, but it's like it's been a lot of transition and going on. So it's not like it's just simple. And it's just been a lot of growth as well.
That's bullshit you can tell
I
yourself.
don't know.
I mean, I'm trying to let you come to it on your own, but you've accepted this. He's already been married and already had a kid. You're wasting your youth and your time. If you break up, he's already got a kid and a marriage. He's good. You are the ones gonna be ass out.
Danger zone!
So the question is, why are you accepting this deal?
I don't know. I guess happiness and love
Okay. So
and adventure.
he's told you he wants to marry you.
He said that he's open to the
No, no,
idea
no,
of
no,
it.
no, man. That's game. He said, I want to marry you.
No, he hasn't said it like that.
Then it's up, ma'am. Then welcome to therapy. It's game. And you know it. You've heard this before. The point is, you've got too much invested in it and you're not willing to lose all this. So how many more years are you willing to do this? Because he's never told you he wants to marry you.
So is it the same thing if he said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me? Like he wants to spend the rest of his life with me?
Why doesn't he want
Is that
to?
different?
No. Then why doesn't he want to do it legally?
Just
Because I haven't required it. I haven't required it, and I give it. I live with him. I'm in-house coochie, and I'm willing to accept it because I can't do no better. Let's get right down to it. If I put any kind of demands on him, I'm afraid I'll lose him. And you're going to tell me this is love? Don't sound like love to me. Don't even sound close to being healthy.
I think it's I don't know.
I'm a PhD.
I just with him becoming more comfortable with the idea.
It's not about him
don't
being
know.
comfortable with the idea. I asked you, did you want to get married? You said yes. I asked you, did you want to have children? You said yes.
Yeah.
And you're wasting, and you've decided. See, here's the thing. Once this ends, and it will end, you cannot blame men. You'll have to look in the mirror and say, I knowingly decided to stay into a dead-end relationship with a man who never said he wanted to marry me. I took that deal, and I'm an educated, intelligent black woman. I have a high school diploma, a bachelor's, and a master's. I'm in the top 20 or 30% of education in this country. You cannot blame anybody. He's not lied to you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Yeah, but he doesn't want to do it legally. See, one thing we do, a lot of people talk shit about me. You've been divorced twice, and yeah, because I will at least get married. Black folks, we walk around in these bullshit ass situationships and don't seem to understand that marriage means something. It's better to, if you're going to be with somebody for 4 years, you might as well be married. You're going to doing all the other stuff. And you know what I'm saying is true. You just don't, you just too far down this path. So now you're just holding on for the fact that hopefully he'll change his mind. And it's not. As long as you let this go, it'll go.
Okay.
I hate to break it to you, sis, but I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's cool. You have an awesome show. You're a great guy. So
I mean, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I really hope you sit back and really evaluate what I said. You're 31. I talk about an eternal 7 for a reason. Listen to what I'm about to say, okay? I don't want to see you become bitter for the rest of your life because you missed your window. If this man wanted to marry you, he knows what K Jewelers is. He knows how to. It doesn't take 4 years. You guys can just go down to the courthouse. But do not have a child without a marriage. Do not do that. Because that's unfair to that kid. Thanks for calling in, though. Appreciate it.
no problem. Thanks.
Guys, you can't just be roasting folks and cracking on folks and stuff. That's not cool. Jada, your mic's not on. Just a second. Jada, your audio's not there. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with you, Rebecca. But thank you.
Hi, Kevin.
Did you have anything you want to say before we wrap up that your call?
I was just gonna say that I think the reason why I was not offended is because I do want to get married and I do want a husband, and I wasn't taught to be a wife. And so I'm willing to take whatever help I need to get there.
I'm glad to hear it.
So
I'm glad to hear it because apparently my show is the devil. But thanks for calling in,
no,
sis.
it's thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Jada, you're up next. We're gonna unmute you. Hello. Go ahead and mute yourself.
Okay,
Hi.
I'm on mute.
Hi.
Hey, I'm
Hold on.
22.
Hold on. What I need you to do, I need you to make sure YouTube is not on. Are you just looking at me? Because you're looking all around.
Okay, it's not on.
Okay, what you got for me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Oh, you muted yourself. You muted yourself. You got to unmute yourself.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm 22, no kids, and right now I'm doing community college.
Okay.
And I'm a waiter. I weigh 126 pounds. I'm 5'3", and I noticed that I attract all types of dudes, like all types of men, high value, low value. I just I feel like I get scared like when I'm around them.
Okay. What do you want though?
So I'm trying not to have kids, and I'm trying not to like. I mean, I really want to just be a stay-at-home wife. I try to keep myself in shape.
You hold on. Back up. You're 22 in a community college. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What city or state are you in?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. So let's start. Do you want to be married?
Yes.
Okay. How many children would you like to have?
2 or 3.
2 or 3? Which one?
Yes.
Which one?
2, but I'm open to 3. 2 is what I really want.
All right. Were your mother and father married?
No.
All right. Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Brothers or sisters?
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
And where do you fall in the birth order? Are you oldest, youngest, middle?
Middle.
And I heard you say you want to be a stay-at-home wife.
Yes.
Why?
I mean, those offers have been thrown to me like, oh, you don't have
What do you
to
mean?
worry. I'll let
What do you
stay at
mean
home.
those offers have been
So,
thrown to you?
like the dudes I have came in contact with.
Okay. Now, how often do you watch my show?
I just started probably like a month ago.
All right.
But
So you know when I talk about offers, I'm very clear.
Old video, so I'm pretty.
I need you. Did you hear what I said? When I talk about offers, I'm very clear. I'm talking about men who have proposed to you, not guys who are just talking to you. What's the longest relationship you've been in?
2 years.
All right. How long ago was that?
6 months ago.
All right. You sound very young. And where's your dad?
Yeah.
Where's your dad?
My dad, he's in Ohio.
All right.
He's in Ohio.
Okay. I would say this, ma'am. You know, this stay-at-home housewife thing. It's a lot of game for most of y'all. 90% of women are going to have to work. And you said that you're 22 and you're going to community college right now, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, arguably, you don't really have any high income skills yet. So, in order to survive and live a middle class life, it is far more likely that you're going to marry a guy, an average guy, and you guys will both have to work.
Okay.
I mean, I heard what you said, that you meet high value and low value, but when I talk about high value, I define it very clearly. And
10K a month.
excuse me, that's not
10K a month.
That's not it. That's one part of it. There's 5 other parts. 5 other parts. So the main thing is I think you need one. I would say job number 1 is don't have any children.
Okay.
Have no kids out before marriage. Don't do that. That is a good way to ruin your chances. Number 2, you're young, and it sounds like you're looking for answers. And watching my show and things like this are a good place to get a start. But you need to be around women who can help guide you down the path of femininity and womanhood. And you're also going to need some direction and structure in your life, because if your mother has how many children? 5?
She has 4.
Or from how many different men?
Just us. My father has multiple women. She just has 1.
Oh, how many children does your mother have?
It's 4 of us.
All right. And all the children are from your father?
Yes.
And why weren't they married?
I don't know. But their parents were married. Like my father,
I get it.
his parents were married.
But I get it. But there's a reason that your mom did not require your dad. Okay, there are issues here. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. And your mother can't help you because she didn't require your father to be a husband before she gave him 1, 2, 3, 4 children. I'm gonna just guess that she was not rich, so you guys probably didn't have the most money growing up to support 4 kids.
It wasn't really a struggle.
And that concerns me. Does your mother go to college?
Yes.
Did she graduate from college?
She has associates, and she's working on her bachelor's.
Right. But
yes, she has associates.
But ma'am, a woman with an associate, and what does she do for a living?
She's working
What does she do for a living? What does she stop? Stop. You're borging out. What does she do for a living?
Hillary.
Say that
She
again.
works in the office at a distillery.
All right. So
She works at a distillery.
I get it.
in
She
the
works in the
office.
office in a distillery. She's clerical. And see, the fact that you said we really didn't struggle when you have a mother who has an associate's degree and 4 children, you don't really have you're very naive about the world. That is struggling. Just because you didn't eat cockroaches doesn't mean it's okay. And there's a lot you need to learn about life and men and family and relationships. See, men aren't just nobody's going to just marry you and sit you in the house and have you have some babies just for no reason. And this is what so many of our young women are getting kind of thrown into, thinking that marriage is just not understanding what it is. And your mom wasn't married. And like I say, hearing a young lady saying, "Hey, it wasn't that big a deal." It is a big deal.
I mean, I know it wasn't normal. I want something more traditional. So I'm looking for outwards.
Well,
to get,
but in order, I get what you're looking for, but men control access to relationships. I get what you want. I get what you're looking for. What I'm trying to get you to understand is you have to be what a husband is looking for. You cute and you're young. That's fine.
Right.
But there are plenty of cute young women who get used up. And some of the things you've come on and said are alarming to me. Because I said it again, you need some solid women around you and some solid men to kind of help you structure and figure out what you did not learn growing up, because you can't learn it from your mother. Your father's not around, and Atlanta's a good place to get caught up. All right. That's about as best I can do for you. Thank you, though, Data. I appreciate it. See, we've gotten to the point to where just because you're not starving, we think, it's all right. We've devalued relationships so much. And I'm gonna do a show later on this week talking about who really wants to be married. And you got to really ask yourself a question. Let's talk about it. 8 out of 10 divorces are filed by women. 8 out of 10 divorces are filed by women, okay? If 26% of women in our community are married, right? And if 8 out of 10 divorces are filed by women, what would the marital rate be if only men could file for divorce? What would the marital rate? What would the marital rate look like in the community if we dropped the divorce rate from 88 out of 10 divorces being filed by women? That means, let's see. Let's just say we have a 50% divorce rate in the Black community, okay? Well, then simple math would say if you removed all the divorces filed by women, you would drop the divorce rate effectively to around 10 or so percent. That would mean you would increase the intact families. You would double, damn near triple. But the fact that, let's just call it, that women can jump in and out of relationships so easily and not suffer any consequence because they can walk away with half of whatever's accumulated, no matter how little there is. The big thing that women walk away with is the children. And the children are a check. Women can live, you can be a woman. And this is no insult intended, but you got to look at it. You can be a woman and have 2 or 3 kids, and you can live a middle class life with all the government subsidies. You can't do that as a man. So, you know, you've heard it, to a lot of women, they don't really see the value in marriage. Just like, well, I can live just fine on a high school degree, high school diploma, or an associate's. I know people with masters and bachelors, masters,
I'm a PhD.
even PhDs who wouldn't think about having 4 freaking kids because you can't afford them. Come on in. All right. So here we go. Nicole, whoever goes first gets to go.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I am well. What you got for me?
So I just wanted to come on here. I actually found your videos about maybe a day ago or so, and that's all I've been doing, just kind of going through all of your videos. And I'm just so, I guess, happy that we finally have the access to really hear the truth, because it's not something that's promoted in our culture, nor do we have the, I guess, people in our lives a lot of the time to really coach us and guide us. And I feel like it's maybe a little too late for me, but I'm so happy
How
that
old are
there's like,
you?
I'm 27.
I don't know if it's too old. I see
Not
you,
too much.
Amira. Amira, I see you. I'm Dr. Nicole first. So, so 27. Do you have any children?
I don't have any kids. No.
Okay, cool. So, what does Nicole want? I mean, we
So
talked about danger zone, feminist, single mothers, eternal 7's. But,
all of that.
well, I don't
So
know. Let's talk about it. I don't know.
right. So I've always been very clear in what I wanted, but I feel like it's not something that I kind of subscribe to the entire idea of being a feminist for some time.
Okay.
And it's interesting hearing these videos from a man's perspective and realizing that,
Hold
like,
on. Hold on. You a feminist?
I subscribe to the idea of that for
Okay.
some time, because what I wanted wasn't supported or nurtured.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Just a second. Can you see me? No,
No, I
but
have.
lean in a little bit. Lean in so you can hear what I'm about to say. Lean in a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. Okay.
I need you to lean in just a little bit so you can hear me.
Okay.
That's for being a feminist.
Right. I deserve that. I
Yeah.
wasted my
What the
time.
hell,
Yeah.
man? No, let's.
Right. No.
See, here's the thing. Feminists are fun people to invite to dinner parties.
Yeah.
They're cool people to have around. They're great friends with benefits. Woo! Cause y'all crazy.
Hmm.
So what about feminism? See, now here's the thing. I don't have a problem with women wanting the right to vote and to be treated like, you know, I don't want you to be treated like second class citizens or anything like that. But we're not equal. And what about feminism appeal to you?
I feel like, being that I've always, like I said, I've always been clear on what I wanted, but when I realized that most of the girls my age are just kind of like, where I live, where I grew up, all of that, it just wasn't aligning with what I wanted. I felt like maybe I was just looking for too much, not knowing my self-worth and not being, I guess, confident in what I wanted. Just kind of led me to down the path of like, okay, let me just have fun. I'm getting all of this, all of this attention. Let me just go with it. And I have all this time, I have all this time. I'm young, right? And it's not till, I guess, when I turned 27 this year that I realized, like, girl, you're really not that young,
Danger zone!
I want kids. I want to be, married, all of these things. And
Okay,
that's
so
kind of
let me translate for the people in the audience.
Mhm.
I'm in danger.
I was out here dating and kicking it and having hot girl summer.
Listen.
I was riding on that carousel possibly.
Oh Lord.
And
Yeah.
I ran up my numbers, and next thing you know, I look up and everybody even got married. I can't go to the clubs like I used to. And now I realize that, you know what? I really would have preferred to have, I've got nothing from this. And that's
Mhm.
cool. But now what you're going to be? So did you go to college?
I did.
Bachelor's, master's, PhD, what?
Bachelor's.
All right. So what part of the country are you in?
I live in South Florida.
South Florida. All right. So do you want to be married? Do you want to have any children?
I do.
How many?
3.
3. Now you know what's coming next. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you?
Never. No.
All right. All right. So, everybody, I would like to introduce you to Tina. This is Tina. Hi, Tina. You even look like the girl who I thought of when I made Tina. All right. So why don't you want to have to work? Let's talk about that.
It wasn't something my mom didn't work growing up for some time. Well, she did for some time, and I realized like in the household the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up with a mom that was like, a nurturer. She would cook for us, clean for us, and
Okay.
I always wanted to do the same for my family.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's a big reason why.
So how tall are you?
I'm 5 foot.
Uh-oh, you're a fun size. What dress size?
2 or 4, depending on fabric.
So
Mhm.
how much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
125.
Okay. 5 foot, about 10 pounds. I mean, you're still in the range. And all right, so if you watch my show, you know to have 3 kids, how much is the man going to need to make in order to have a stay-at-home wife?
I would say for us to be comfortable around 250, 300 a year.
For 3 children?
Yes.
What part of South Florida? You're not in Miami, are you?
Close enough. I live in Boca.
No, you're talking 350, 375. Because you got to also ask yourself this question: do you want your kids to be able to go to college if they want to?
I don't really subscribe of the idea of college anymore, but of course I want it to be a choice for them.
Okay, well,
So,
college
if
makes
they want
sense. So college makes sense if you're going to get science, engineering, technology, or math.
exactly,
Okay, or
exactly.
law or medicine or something like that. Not just
Right.
business management. So if you had a child that wanted to go, you would want them to be able to go.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
and would you want them to have to go into debt, or would you like to be able to pay for that?
No, I would want us to have the means for us to
Right.
pay it out,
So for 3
straight forward.
children to be able to go to college, if 2 out of 3, plus looking at 16-year-olds, cars, look, man, it costs a lot. It costs a
Right.
lot. So what's your degree in?
In marketing.
All right. And what do you do for a living?
So I'm actually a behavior therapist, so nothing to do with marketing at all.
Behavior therapist meaning what?
I work for ABA, kids with autism.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, so it's a passion for you, a calling?
No, it's not. It was just something that I got into because of, how much they pay and all of that. So it's not something that I see myself long term. It's not my calling now.
All right. So where'd you go to? Do you have college student loan debt?
No.
All right. So, all right. So the guy you'd be looking to marry, you don't have any student loan debt. 3 kids. Do you have anybody who you're their prospect to be their wife?
No.
All right. What's the longest relationship you've ever had?
2 years.
How long ago was that?
About a year and a half ago.
And why didn't you guys get married?
Hmm. So I wasn't happy in the relationship.
What do you mean?
I wasn't happy. I wasn't satisfied. It was becoming almost a drag for
What did he do for a living?
What did he do?
Mm-hmm.
He's a firefighter
The firefighter.
and has a couple of businesses on the side.
Here's a couple. Okay. Um, Firefighters make pretty good money though.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
But it became a drag.
Yeah, it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't our values didn't align. We weren't looking for the same things.
Okay.
He did want to marry me, but it was one of those things where I couldn't see myself in the relationship. Like I was very miserable in the relationship.
You were very
So
measured or measurable?
no, miserable.
Miserable.
So
How was
yeah,
the intimacy?
sucked.
That's really what you're going to say at the beginning. That's why the relationships. All right. So, all right. How important is that to you? Sex.
Oh, it's very important.
All right. Well, so here's going to be a problem. Here's going to be a problem right here. High value men, the men that kind of money you're talking about, are not going to spend hours trying to pleasure you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They're not. I mean, I don't know if you. These men, we're talking about 12, 14, 16-hour days. They're going to come through the door, and after you have all his children, homework done, he wants to have it so he can just look over it and check it. You have the kids already ready to go. Kids are fed. Everybody's clean. He's going to want to be able to sit down, have his drink. You catch up on a day, and then you'll be servicing him.
And that's important to me, for him to be satisfied more so than for me.
Okay. So you will be willing to sacrifice sexual gratification for stability.
Yes. Yes.
That's smart. Black women, pay attention. You're going to have to do that. Because the dudes that have time to break your back are going to break your bank account.
Right. Exactly. So.
What's the oldest man you've ever dated?
39.
How old are you?
That wasn't too long. Maybe 20 earlier this year, 26, 27.
Oh, so you were okay. So would you date a man in his 40s?
I would, yes.
Because the kind of men, the money you're talking about a man in his late 30s or 40s income.
Right.
So,
I'm open to it.
So what does he want from a woman?
Oh, femininity, compassion, someone that's submissive, beautiful, giggles and laughs, strokes his ego.
Well, let's just assume that that's right. Have you ever been that kind of woman, an ego stroking woman?
Naturally, but I feel like I kind of lost that, just living down here and the people that I surrounded myself with.
Well, all that stuff you said were nice buzzwords. The first thing he wants is cooperation.
Right.
He leads, and these things are diametric. These things tend to bump heads with feminist ideals.
Right.
I mean, have you ever been to a dinner party?
Yes, I have.
All right. I will say this though. You're in South Florida. You're in a place where these guys exist, but finding what the kind of lifestyle you want comes with a man, and you need to figure out what these men want from their women. And you have very little time to get caught up. When do you turn 28?
February next year.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a deal. That's a hard one. But I will say this. How important is excitement and that kind of stuff in a relationship?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Because you seem like a kind of a carefree spirit.
Yes.
All right. Well, that high value men are structured, regimented, disciplined. I mean, I get that you want the kind of lifestyle, but could you live that?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I get that you want that kind of lifestyle, but could you live that? I get that you want that lifestyle. Could you live that though?
Oh, could I leave it for?
Could you live it?
Definitely.
Could you live it? Could you live the buttoned up, high value lady lifestyle?
Oh.
I don't know what happened to her. She just froze. There you go. Could you live that buttoned up, high value lady lifestyle?
I have, yes.
You have?
Yes, I actually went to finishing school and all of that.
All right. So what the hell happened to you? You just
I can
decided to
tell you.
lose your damn mind and get out of here. Okay. Having.
Tell me about it. I came down here for college and kind of, yeah.
So when you gonna move?
I'm actually moving later on this year. Yeah,
Where are you moving to?
I'm moving to Tampa.
I wouldn't do that. There's no real
Okay.
high value men in Tampa, but
Right.
moving to a city where high value men live and leaving that carefree lifestyle behind. Um, Also, you leave a little bit
Okay.
of your rap. I mean, you could still you can still win, but you gotta go in this with the
Okay.
you. But you gotta go into it with the mindset of winning. You if you've already been finishing school and you have the look, you don't have kids, you're not overweight, you have the look down, but you have to understand that these men are looking for women to be their vice president, they're the president. They're looking for co-pilots. And understand that is a completely different lifestyle, a completely different headspace than what you've done the last few years. And here's the thing. There are plenty of women who get out there and have had bohemian kind of lifestyles. They tend to just stop that shit in college. You
Yes.
did it for 3 to 5 years too long, so you're gonna have to reel that all the way back. Got it?
Yes.
Thanks, Nicole.
Definitely.
Appreciate it,
Thank
sis.
you so
Bye.
much. And
Bye. All right. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Can you win in Chicago? Oh no. People are leaving Chicago, man. Chicago is a city, man, is just too crazy right now, man. I was talking to Jap and I was like, bruh, I'm a Chicago fan, but you can the the crime is off the chain right now. So yeah, Boho is out here. So here's the thing. Her body count may be too high to save her. We gotta understand something about this body count thing, man. I don't think a lot of you guys understand how high a lot of these white women's body counts are in college. My roommate my freshman year was a Lambda Chi Alpha, and I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi myself. But I hung out with a lot of the white fraternities, and those people, they, woo, we thought we did it up. No, them people, or, don't tell on yourself, Kevin. There are a lot of high value soccer moms with body counts that you would just insane. Insane. We're talking about women who have done the Eiffel Tower. We've talked about women who've we're talking about women who've done a team, guys, and gone on to marry somebody. But you got to be able to, and see, whew, non-black men understand that too. They know their wives have had these things happen, but that the women are smart enough to cut that off, cauterize it, and act like it never happened. One of the biggest things that we could do in the black community, and black folks could really stop, is this pimp and hoe culture. Stop glorifying the streets. Stop glorifying WAP. Stop glorifying, you know, being hard and poof, you can have just because you're refined does not mean you'll be surprised at how many of these buttoned up, refined, upper crust, hoity-toity, pinky up, tea dripping folks are just out of their mind insane behind the closed doors. Then white girl. See, the thing is, if we're gonna take it racial, one of the best ways is no one wants virgins. No. You know how many executives marry former call girls and escorts? but they don't marry public ones. See, whatever you do, ladies, you cannot have it public. You cannot have it public. You can go, that's why I told her, you're going to need to leave that area. You're going to need to leave that area and pay somebody $7,000-$8,000 to just scrub the internet full of all of that stuff. I've seen this many times, guys. I mean, more so than I want to get into. This happens often. So I make no mistake. Here's the thing. For let me speak to black women. Black women, if you can start looking at long-term relationships and marriage differently, see, like that first woman, that has to stop in our community. We got to stop these 4 and 5, 10-year relationships. See, we laugh at people in the black community who get divorced, but I laugh at people who are these 8-year relationships. I'm like, you're dumb as hell. See, white people will get married. White high value men are often divorced, but they get married because they understand what it does for their status. We tend to think that, oh, we're going to do things in it. We just going to, no, you don't need to be in these long drawn out relationships. It's living together with somebody for 5 years and you ain't married. What's the point? There's something going on with a lot of folks with this notion of marriage. It's like you're willing to do all the married stuff. And we have gotten to the other side of it to where who was it? T.I.'s stepdaughter who said, being married is too serious, but she's willing to have a kid. That is completely insane. Completely insane. Completely insane. So I'm going to take a few more calls because we had go ahead and call in. Go ahead and call in. Ladies, you can call in. If you don't want to be on camera, let me know. Let me see if I can answer some questions. So, why is it that so many folks that just don't want to get married? My thought is, like I said, if 8 out of 10 divorces are filed by women, even if you cut that number in half, man, you increase the marital rate by the same number. If the divorce rate dropped by half, if half the women stopped divorcing for silly reasons and irreconcilable difference, if you had to really divorce for serious reasons like rampant infidelity, documented abuse, not he talked crazy to me. No, you had to have cause. Documented cause. Or if you divorced as a woman, and sure, but take it back to 1942. Great. You leave with everything you get. He keeps the kids. The kids are the property of marriage, and that goes to the father. See, we have incentivized divorce so much to where, it's the same laws for everybody else. So hey, if you want to do something, you can increase the marriage rate by dropping the ease of divorce. That's why a lot of men don't want to get married, because they see how casually women jump in and out of relationships. But if men knew that women couldn't just jump in and out and they actually had to prove something, that would be different. You're not a woman. You're a man. You're a man. Why do I have guys calling in? No, that won't work either. But I will do this. Here's what I will do. Here's what I will do. Here's what I will do. Here. Unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Hello. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Hello. Hello. Strange people. Amber. Hello. Hello. Is your name Amber? Hi. What do you have for me?
Diana, and I'm just curvier. So I know you said that if you are
You're
overweight, that you
curvier.
have no.
You're curvier.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I've been listening for about 2-3 months now,
All right.
just listening,
Okay.
and you do speak some good knowledge.
Thank you. But
Yes.
but
But it's kind of just it's saddening to think that I can't achieve better because of my weight. Like I have my mentals and everything together, but it's like if you're not 120, you can't make it.
okay.
Like it's not happening for you.
Well, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
And what's your dress size?
I'm a 16.
Okay, you need to turn off YouTube in the background.
Okay, hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, because I can hear YouTube in the background.
Okay.
Okay, so you're how old?
I'm 33.
And you're 5'4" or 5'6"? 5'6".
5'6".
And how much did you weigh at your last weigh-in?
My last weigh in, I weighed 240.
Okay, so ma'am, if I told you as a man, you decrease your chances of being married or even successfully married if you were earning $10 an hour. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, effectively, you make $10 an hour. It's not me trying to be harsh or rude, but the average man in this country is 5'9.5", right? And he weighs 168 pounds. You weigh 70 pounds more than an average adult male. So you understand that men are visual.
Yes, I guess that's the point that I
But
guess
if you
it's
have
kind of hard.
your mentals together, did you go to college?
Yes.
Bachelor's, PhD, master's, what?
I stopped at my bachelor's
O-
and then I have my cosmetology license.
Okay, so you're an intelligent woman.
Yes.
Okay, so you know that men are visual. Why have you not acted on that simple knowledge?
Mm. I guess it's just hard to lose weight. It's easier for a man to lose weight. It's easier for them to, shred the pounds, but I have been losing, but it's
What's
not
the most you've ever weighed?
280.
Unless you have some sort of clinical condition, there's no reason for you to weigh that much.
Understood.
Okay, so when I hear ladies like yourself coming in here saying it's just disappointing to hear that I have no choices or no options, and yeah, it's because you did it. I'm just okay. If you pick up the newspaper or if you turn on CNN, MSNBC, or Fox, and they reported um, uh, global collapse happens, pandemic ravages the planet, can you get mad at them for reporting it?
No.
I'm just reporting the truth.
Right. And I'm not mad at you or anything. It's just
So why did
kind
you
of
allow
disheartening.
yourself to get to this size if you wanted a man?
I don't know. I guess I never really, I don't know.
When was the last time you had a boyfriend?
About 3-4 years ago.
When was the last time you had sex?
About a year ago.
And before that, when's the last time you had sex before that?
It was consistent for like about a year.
You had consistent sex for a year at 250 pounds.
Yes.
And was he a high value man?
No.
No. What did he do for a living?
I work for a nonprofit
What did
organization.
he do for a living?
I don't really know. He was an ex-veteran.
Hold on. I need to be clear. You don't know what he did for a living?
He didn't really have a job.
So you allowed a man to insert himself in you without a job.
I mean, at that point, it was really just sex.
See where we're getting to it, ma'am?
Where we getting to?
You had to take a dude that had no job because that's the only guy that would have sex with a woman that weighs like what you do. You couldn't get what you want. I mean, you went to college to say, I have to ask you what he did for a living. You said, I don't know. And I need you to understand how bad that sounds. But you, when I asked you how long you've had sex, it's been a year because you can't get it. And then when you did get it, you got it from effectively a loser. But it was better than nothing. And instead of having your standard being higher than allowing a loser to have sex with you because, were you on birth control?
Yes.
Okay. Was he using a condom as well?
Yes.
Okay. If both methods had failed, would you have carried the pregnancy to term? Be honest.
Probably, yes, because I don't believe in abortion.
Guys, remember what I said at the beginning? What I said at the beginning, remember? The danger zone, the feminist, the eternal sevens. Hold on, ma'am. The danger zone, the feminist, the eternal sevens. It all ends up to when they're out of options. These are the women that will go get a dude that's loose with his seed and they'll have a baby. Go back to the beginning of the broadcast. I wasn't just talking crap, guys. And this is what you just said, ma'am. You'd have kept the baby because at least you'd have had a baby. You wouldn't be lonely now. But you couldn't have a baby with a man worth a darn. You couldn't be a stay-at-home mom and all the stuff is. And ma'am, all of these choices, You're choosing from a lack of options, and your weight has reduced your options. He is not the kind of man you wanted. So he is certainly not the kind of man you would have chosen to be a father of your child. It was the
Right.
best you could do. And all of this was 100% controllable by losing the weight. I don't care how hard you say it is, because to me, ma'am, it sounds like living this life is hard.
Right.
So what are you prepared to do about it?
I gotta lose the weight.
No, no, we gotta. It has to be more than that, ma'am. When was the last time you were a healthy weight? 130 pounds.
130 pounds.
130 pounds. Yes, black woman.
It's,
See
I don't think I've.
this is how sad this has gotten. That when I ask a black woman, a college educated black woman, when's the last time she was a healthy weight, 130 pounds at 5'6", she's shocked or laughed in amazement, like, what? What kind of voodoo are you talking about? 130 pounds, as if that is so far outside of the realm of possibility. I don't find any of this funny. And the last time you were probably that weight was probably somewhere in junior high.
Right.
And that's your mother's fault.
Mhm.
The average American woman in 1960 was 5'4", 120 pounds. The average American man was 5'9.5", 165 pounds. The average American man in 2015 was still 5'9.5", 5'9.5". His weight had ballooned up to 168 pounds. He gained a whopping 3 pounds in 55 years, but the average American woman had shot up from 120 to 166. And the average black woman is 187. And you're above that.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is, at your age, your education, your cosmetology, you're having to work and pay the bills because you can't get a man who can do that. So it will be far smarter to just recognize the fact that you are morbidly obese and you need serious work. You need to hire a personal trainer. What do I say? Therapist, personal trainer, image consultant. Those are the three things. Because as you're only going to get older, ma'am, and
Right.
you're not going to. It's not like your weight gain is going to slow, and God forbid you injure yourself or something like that. So I hear when ladies like you come on my program and say, "Well, what you're saying hurts my feelings," or it sounds so dire or so tragic. But what sounds more dire or tragic to me is a woman who says she's having sex with a guy she doesn't even know what he do for a living. See, we're
Right.
more ready to talk about what I say, just reporting the news, other than the people who make the news.
Right. That's the truth.
You're 30 what? 33?
Yes.
Do you have any siblings?
Just one, a older sibling,
Older what?
a older sister.
Does she have any children?
No.
She been married?
Yes.
But she's divorced now or still married?
Still married.
Why don't they have any children?
They're gay.
They can't?
They're lesbians. What is that for?
When your godfather is right, you must kiss the ring.
Oh, okay. Mwah.
That's what I said. People think I'm full of shit, but whatever I said, you either have a child by a Dusty or you end up becoming a bartender.
Oh, is that what the bartender means?
Yeah, that means you have a liquor license.
Mm,
And I'm assuming you guys are around the same body size.
yes.
Okay. Ma'am, you need to do something about that. Unless you plan
Understood.
on getting your Niecy Nash on too.
No, no, no.
All right. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
To all of my critics, naysayers, shit talkers, say you don't know what you're talking about, you're this, you're that. How many times do you need to hear me be more right than wrong? Again, Danger Zone, Feminist, Eternal 7's. The end, it ends up in becoming a baby mama, finding a dude that has nothing, who's loose with his seed, because that's better than being alone. Barring that, they become bartenders. And we had it all in one call. Godfather's a cold brother. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna unmute. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Hello. 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 How are you? I am well. What do you got for me? Who are you in the chat? Who are you in the chat room? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And I follow several YouTube channels that the women that do call in on these shows. I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous. My heart's racing. The women that call on these shows, from what I've seen, everything, all their talking points, etc., none of them hold water. Which just confirms even more the fact that I am against feminism, and I believe feminism puts women in a confused state, and people that are in a confused state can't make logical decisions. And all the feminist rhetoric in the world doesn't change this fact.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, Nicer. You don't have to be nervous. I don't bite. Thank you for calling in, sis. I gotta grab another person though. Thank you. That's Nicer, y'all. She's in the chat room. I know who they're. Somebody asked what an eternal 7 was. Eternal 7s are the women that are leftovers. They're the best. They're the best women that are leftovers after the 8s, 9s, and 10s get married in their early 20s. They're the women who are left over, and they automatically become the top of the class after the people have moved on and went to college. But they're not smarter. They just been held back. And when all of a sudden when you're top, they stay out there and they hold that position too long. Instead of consolidating and getting with a suitable man, they get an influx of attention, and all of a sudden they start thinking they're more than they are. And then they wait 5, 6 more years and they look up and it's 27 or 28 and they played themselves completely out of position. They've lacked relationship skills. They've been out here dating and run up their body counts. So now they're almost unsuitable for long-term relationships with anybody. Then they get angry after they hit the wall because they keep cycling through men who are beneath them educationally or income-wise. They can't get the men that are up there. They feel like they should be able to get the men that are up there because for a little bit of time, they were the top ranked of the what was left. And that makes a bitter woman. And they stay that way eternally. Eternal 7's. So here's the thing, guys. Here is the thing. Who is this? Let me do this. Hello? Unmute yourself. Hello? Well, what's your first name? Rustin. I'm doing guys tomorrow. Can you call back tomorrow? Because we're about to wrap up today. Thank you. Just didn't want to hang up on you. Appreciate it. Thanks. You know, all right, guys. So here's the thing. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anybody who's followed my platform for any length of time will know that I am saying stuff. High value man is not something I made up. It's been with us for a long time. The quote unquote, the manosphere has been talking about a lot of the things that I say here for years. YouTube is 5 years ahead of the world. So if you're a woman, you're here right now, you're 5 years ahead of the people in the real world. Here's what I say. A lot of people in the men's spaces have gotten a bad rap. Oh, you hate women, you're this, you're that. Okay. You just don't like the packaging and presentation. I'm saying a lot of the things that I believe when I found these spaces. I'm just saying it in a way that's easier for some women to hear. Why is that important? Because the more you start to hear it, and the more you start to hear men say it, and then the more you start to hear women confirm through their own life experience a lot of things that men have been saying, the easier it'll be for you to understand the nature of the problem and decide to make changes if you choose to. That's why I continue to do this show and keep coming back to this, because every week there's at least one or two people that say, thank you for doing this show. You know, it's changed my life or this and that. I don't ever go back and read the letters and testimonials, but every morning I wake up and I've got email after email after email with somebody who said, you gave me a wake up call. And that means more to me than any of the so-called haters and critics who have never spoken to me, have never made a phone call, have never sent an email, have never sent a text message, never. I am one of the most accessible people, and you can't be a critic unless you can say what I'm saying is wrong. And here's the thing, here's the problem some have with me. Well, ultimately the argument comes down to, he don't know what he's talking about. Listen to me, I'm better. That's not how you win this. You don't win the argument by throwing shots at me, calling me a fake, a fraud, a charlatan, or this, or you gay, or that. Look, man, we're grown people. We're not on a playground, and that doesn't work for people who are looking for answers. You win by having a better mousetrap. Can you sit down and have your opinion? Can you have a conversation like that? That's a skill set. What you guys see me doing, for the people who are, you're not this, you're not that, what do you think I learned this stuff? You don't come out of the womb being this effective of a listener, becoming this good at asking questions, probing. I'm had a long career in sales. I'm good at what I do. And Judge Dre, one of the problems is we're not used to black men stand on the fact that they're a subject matter expert, that they're good at what they do, and they'll stand on it. See, if I were white, I wouldn't have to explain myself to so many black people. I said it. If I were a white man, I would not have to explain myself to so many black people. We constantly try to invalidate black men. I just don't fall for it. You're not going to invalidate me with some talking points. You're going to have to beat me on the field of combat. And if you can beat me on the argument, but if you can't, bow down. I give credit where credit is due. Shout out to the architect of a lot of this, O'Shea Duke Jackson. You know, look, man, there are guys who have a better grasp of some of the material because they lived it longer than I may have. But is that really important? Or is it important that it's getting out? Is it important that it's getting out? Because a lot of folks are like, oh, you doing this and doing that. I still see guys in the comment section. Thank you for saying this, man. I'm glad I'm hearing this at this age. Hear women saying, I'm glad I'm hearing this at this age. I'm glad I'm hearing this now. What else do you want? Don't shoot the messenger. Again, anybody who wants to try to make this about me, I will look at it with the side eye. It's disingenuous at best, but I don't think it's going to stop. It's only going to get worse. So, if it's going to get worse, we're going to ride this mother sucker till the wheels fall off, Judge Dre. That's what we're going to do because they're going to keep coming. That's all right. We're going to keep on stomping. We're going to keep on stomping, doing what we're doing. Thank you. Ain't that right, Nicer? I encourage you guys to go to other platforms. Go listen to other arguments. But here's the thing. I hope when you're listening to this content, your ass is out there doing something. Move, 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 move. Like when I talk about being a high value man, it does start with that money, but that's not where it ends. It starts with that money, but money is just one component. Getting your money right, money is just a tool. It's just a tool to help you get what you want. Getting your money right over that length of time, and then getting acceptance from the group, that's really important. If you're a contractor, you know what it means to be have acceptance by the group. You're a master electrician versus a journeyman. Oh, that's group acceptance. And then having that network of other high value men and other people, you can't have a network full of high value people. It has to be everything. Then having the visibility, because the visibility is what, I'm going to tell you something yesterday, Judge Dre, I'm going to tell you something. This happened yesterday. I'm at my local Kroger, right? And I got my headphones on and I'm just listening to something, right? And I'm just in my little zone. We want to get me a Red Bull and some other stuff. And this woman, she was wow. But she had the wedding ring on, right? And she had a little boy, Dre. Peep this, Dre. She had a little boy. He had the Charlie Brown, not Charlie. He had the striped shirt on, and you know if you're a parent, you know how it is when kids you got that peripheral dad vision because you know dad's got to step around kids, and this little kid was just wilding out on his mama, and he was just all his energy. Then all of a sudden, this kid just stopped, and I kind of saw him out of my peripheral vision, but I'm on my zone, and I looked up at his mama, and she was saying something. And I was kind of thinking, damn, mama trying to holler, really? But you got the ring on. I can't do that, man. Oh, yeah, but I steal wives, all right? So anyway, I took my headphone out, and she said, I just have to tell you, my son said, when he grows up, he want to dress like you when he goes to work. Yeah. I want just like you when I grow up and go to work. I said, well, you do that, young man. Remember, you're going to have to stay in school, make good grades, take some chances. Okay, sir. He was jumping all over the place. But when I started talking to him, pop, I was like, that's pretty dope. Anyway, as I was going out, he and his mother were going to jump in this nice big Range Rover SUV of some sort. And he's like, have a good day, sir. I said, and I reached in, I had something, I went in, I gave him a little, had this little, I had a sample of Creed Aventus cologne. I said, there you go, man. When you get a little older, try that. Is this cologne? Yeah. Then his mom was like, okay, Creed Aventus. Ooh, that's good stuff, son. Thank you. That was my Mean Joe Green moment. I don't care what. So you think I care what you mother sucker haters gotta say? Run tell that. You think I care what y'all gotta call me a sissy and all? You think I care that you make fun of this? You think I care? A young black man said, I see something that I admire. Now, if I had my pants hanging down by my ass and a hat turned back and sagging and shit and Jordans, and you think he'd have been like, yeah, I want to grow up and be like that. Man, you kiss my... They don't want me to act the fool up in here. That's my calling. It's my calling, it's my gifting, and thank you. It's my gift. The Creator endowed me with these gifts. And I am doing the best I can with what he gave me. So you think you can come against that? You're dealing with more than just me. How about it, though? Ooh, y'all don't want me to get up here and start testifying, y'all. Ooh, let me get up off here. All right. Anyway, thank you to everybody coming in. Thank you, everybody. I got to play the Ike song.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not.
One thing I also have learned is, the only time I start cutting people off on my show is when I know they're trying to BS me. When somebody is calling and they're trying to speak and when they come at it with good energy or good faith, I don't cut people off. But when you guys see me doing that, it's because I've honed in on something that I perceive as a negative. I'm not going to let somebody come on here and lie and gaslight and deceive and be passive aggressive and sneak this when ultimately I know or I feel in my spidey sense or the force or whatever. No. So you're going to have to just deal with that. I'm not perfect. I'm a guy. I'm just one man. One man who's got a show on YouTube that's happened to be doing something right now. And for the time it's doing it, I'm going to ride it the way it is. But I am by no means perfect. I ain't shit just like you ain't shit. I got a lot of jacked up ways. I'm still a work in progress, but we do the best we can with what we got, baby. I'm building an airplane while I'm flying it, just like you. Just because I walk around dressed like this, I show my F's too. Go on my channel. You'll see a bunch of fails. There's a bunch of them. I don't try to hide and act like I'm better than something that I'm not. So when people are like, he ain't this, he ain't that, you don't know me. And here's the thing, good, enjoy it. Because I'm not going to argue with you. I'm everything you say I am. But I'm good at what I do. Can you say the same thing? If you really are good at what you do, you wouldn't be worried about talking about me. All right, folks. Till next time. We got to get up out of here. Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. You know how we do this. Peace. We are gone. Oh, I got to announce. Sorry, got an announcement. For the last 2 weeks, I've been out on business vacation with limited access to one of my emails. But my secondary email, I've had a lot of system issues over the last couple of weeks. Everybody needs a little vacation. So if you've sent me an email to Made Men, the long URL, I'm just now getting it back up. Guys, I'm scared to see how many emails I have. info@bykevinsamuels.com. That one's good, but the other one I don't check as much. So what I'm ultimately saying is, while I'm still doing the show, I've been out on vacation for the last 2 weeks. So should be getting back up to speed by the end of the week. Thank you for being patient. Just need to make that announcement. Easiest way to do it was here. All right, let's get back to it. Bye-bye. South Dakota in this BR. Shout out to the DEA. Delusional, entitled, ambivalent women. What a song.
I'm a PhD. 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 I'm a PhD.
I'm in danger.
I'm a PhD.
I'm in danger.
I'm having fun.
I'm a PhD.
I know she is.
I'm in danger.
Good night, everybody.